Friends, my name is Christy Rice, and I am obsessed with watercolor. I mean, truth be told, I am obsessed with all types of art making, and I am a joy chaser, and hopefully that's why you're here. At the time of recording this, it's World Watercolor Month. And last year, I decided not to participate. It was just a little too much for me, and that's A-okay. This year, I decided I'm going to participate, but I'm 11 days behind. It's day 11 of World Watercolor Month. So, yeah, I haven't started. So today I am hopefully going to get all caught up. And that means kind of fast and loose watercolor magic is what we're going to be getting to today, because I want to get all 11 done today in a rapid fire but still super valuable way. I've got all sorts of supplies here on my painting table, watercolor markers and inks and masking fluid and I don't know what this is. I've been wanting to use this pigment paste. I mean, we are gonna have at it. Oh, pigment powder. We're gonna have at it. And my idea is to make some sort of like quilt with 31 parts. So yeah, so kind of like a quilt of my month, of the emotions I experienced, of the feelings I felt, of the observations I observed, that kind of thing. Yeah. So we're just going to get right down to it. And I think it's going to be fun. And I hope you stick around for the whole thing because, yeah, it's a good time here. It's a good time here. So let's do it. This is World Watercolor Month, friends. This is something, it's the brainchild of Doodle Wash. Make sure you follow them on Insta, okay? I don't know how long this has been going on, but it's a thing. It's like a known thing. This has reach, okay? 31 watercolors, 31 days. I would love for you to paint along with me. I'm going to get caught up today. There are 11 prompts that I need to do today. So on the right-hand side of the screen, you see we've got pattern, rush, turn, signal, patch, rusty, study, feather, trunk, buried, huddle. Now, I'll be honest, these make me nervous. Like these are so amoeba-like in my brain. Like they're not taking any form. I have not planned or pre-planned what I'm going to do today. So you're coming along with me for this crazy journey. I know they look hard, right? But I think we're going to go more abstract. We're going to lean into the abstract. Thank you, Brenda. Thank you. My crazy hair color. I appreciate that. I just did a little color mask to make it even crazier. Thank you. Oh, fun, Micah. Last year you won Diane Zimmerman's challenge. So fun. So if you're not sure what we're talking about, Diane Zimmerman is the owner of the most incredible watercolor group on Facebook, Watercolor Beginners and Beyond. Scrubs, if you're here, if you could go ahead and just type that out so people can see what that actually looks like. And go ahead and join that group if they haven't already, Watercolor Beginners and Beyond. And they have monthly challenges with a winner and a prize and all the things. So wonderful, wonderful group. Oh, Lori, I'm sorry you can't stay. I know, the prompts are super random. They are. I know some folks are doing, just doing a flower a day. So, you know, if you want to participate in this, I will say a few things. Number one, don't stress. I am 11 days behind. Whatever. I'm going to see what I can do. Number two, edit the prompt to suit what makes you excited about making art. You know what I mean? And I think you're going to see a little of that coming up with what I start to do here. So, and number three, yeah, I don't know. I don't have a number three. I never know how to do these prompts. We'll see. Thank you, Micah, about my paints. I'm definitely working on more colors. I wouldn't even know where to begin with some of these. This is going to be interesting to watch. Yeah, I also think it's going to be interesting to be doing, because I don't know what I'm going to be doing. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know, because like, are we kidding here? Like, what was the first one? What was the stinking first one? I was about to say, what's the freaking first one? Pattern. I mean, that one's actually a little easier. So anywho, I have got my Fyess paper. I'm going to put links to supplies. I bought this on Amazon. It's just a big old stack of paper, and it was like, I don't know, $14. I will be honest, it doesn't work as nicely with watercolor markers, which was surprising to me. But everything else, it feels a lot like Academy. So today I am actually going to be using, and let's go ahead and go full screen on the painting table. I'm going to be using my Daniel Smith collection. So let's get those sprayed down. Ooh. This is just a great way to juice these up. If you're new to watercolor, I use this continuous-ish spray bottle. I have all my supplies linked in my Amazon store below. And then I unboxed a little present from the Mint Gardener on Instagram yesterday. So I want to use some of those paints. So I'm taking one of my Art for Joy's Sake palettes, and I'm going to remove these paints. And then I'm going to see if these paints that I got from Sarah Simon of the Mint Gardener fit in here. They look like quarter pans, and I know quarter pans fit in here, but they look smaller or like a different kind of size. I don't know. I'm like a little confused, but we'll see. We'll see if they snap in. Are we ready? Are we ready? Oh yeah, they snap. Beautiful. Just gotta make it a little tighter. So just push these back a little bit more. Okay. And hi. Snap. Beautiful. All right, let's get this filled up. So this is a paint palette collaboration between Sarah and Stone Ground Paint Co. I know this is usually with the earthy, but I want to put that one up with the yellows, the warm, and then we'll get into this. And I want to paint with this today too a little bit. What do we got here? A lot of earthies. What color is this, I wonder? Okay, it's like almost like a purpley brown, that one was. What is that one? That's like a neutral tint. Okay, and a bleu. We need a bleu. Okay, get that in. And make sure you're snapped down in. And get you snapped in. Okay, those are all in. No echo, super. Okay. And then we'll just put her back in here. And then I gotta make sure I write on this what is in here. Do I have a smaller Sharpie? Oh, I know I do somewhere in my existence, but not right here. So we're gonna wing ding it. So Stone Ground for Sarah Simon. Done. Okay. So we got that. What was the first prompt? Anybody? Where did you come from? There you are. What was that first prompt? Pattern? Pattern. All right. If you're having a good time so far, go ahead and give this video a boop, friends. A boop is a like in watercolor land with Christy. And yeah, that would be awesome. It helps my channel out. It helps things get found. And I got to be honest, it's been a little rough out here for us YouTubers. I've been chatting this with some other folks, and it's a little strange right now. you know, we're some of us, including myself, are on the struggle bus with views and our videos getting found. And, you know, I'm not crying like, woe is me, because I have a lovely life. But, you know, you work so hard. You work so hard to make content you hope people will like. And, like, YouTube doesn't push it out. But, anywho, boops help. Likes help. Comments help. Yes. I don't know. No, there's something else going on. I would think it, you know, the question was, is it because it's summer? I don't think so. I mean, that definitely impacts views the time of year. It certainly does. But it feels like a little something else. Now my last few videos, last 3, I would say, they were experiments. Did anybody watch my latest video where I painted the weird cactus and then did my little portrait? I want you to be honest. Was it annoying? It was a new format, and it really bombed. So I would love to hear like how you felt about it. Like if you found it just to be not to your liking. I'd be curious. I'd be curious to know. Okay, pattern. We're gonna head in. And we're gonna, I don't know, do a flower, maybe a flower pattern. Now, obviously, to get caught up with 11 prompts or 11 days worth of this challenge, I gotta get to it, you know? I gotta get to it. This is a very earthy palette, which I think is just gorgeous. You thought it was informative, haven't watched it yet. And see, it's a longer one. So I kind of feel like maybe did some people just like put it on like our, you know, like what do you call that? Like watch later or whatever, and not watch it when it first came out because it was, you know, it was 45 minutes worth of Christy babble. So I don't know, but it bombed. Like it was a bomb of pretty epic proportions for me. So anyhow, I'm doing a press and drag, very kind of like double time. I'm double dipping. It's wet on dry. My brush is kind of like, I would say like 60% paint, 40% water. So my brush is pretty, I mean, I'm getting a nice glide. I'm just trying to explain for you kind of like the feel if you want to replicate anything you're seeing. How do you like my new crisp white background here? I went up to the big studio and I said, Kristen, I need a new pad for my backdrop because I don't know what happened to my other one. It's warped and it became very difficult to paint on. Awful. So, we got me a new one. Got me a new one. Okay, pattern. What do I want to do next? I don't know. I do feel like I want something under this. I don't know why I'm feeling that, but I'm not gonna, I think I just don't want to get my new backdrop super dirty yet. All right. Let's reds too, maybe a cool teal. Dipping into Daniel Smith now. And I'm gonna do a fun, loose background here. And then I'm just putting down some of the color and then grabbing some water, not rinsing my brush per se. And you can tell by the color mixing that's happening here that my brush, when I dipped into the green, was not even completely clean. And that's okay. Get some more of that tealy, I think that's like a cobalt turquoise of some sort. Maybe with Daniel Smith, it may not be that exact name, but it's very similar in its, the way it vibes. So I do not have stuff memorized like that. So if you're new here, I am using my number 6 cat's tongue from the Free From Fear brush collection. And I like that particular brush. It has the nice point in the middle. and then a lot of nice body and kind of girth elsewhere. So it holds a little bit more water than say my daggers, just a little bit more. So it can be a really nice option when you're a bit newer to creating these more, these quick backgrounds. These quick backgrounds require a brush that holds a little bit more paint, I think, or at least it makes your life easier if you use a brush that's holding a little bit more paint. I'm doing a really low grip on my brush right now for control. That feels good for me. But I always say, hold the brush. You can try what I'm doing, but don't get frustrated. I mean, I can't tell you not to get frustrated, but I hope you don't get frustrated and just try something else if it's not feeling super awesome for you. Because, we all have our bodies are different, the way our hands are made are different. So what works for me may not work for you, but always try it because you might have a breakthrough. We are working on the pattern prompt for World Watercolor Month. This is prompt number 1 with 10 more to go after this one. I'm double dipping now in this pretty creamy blue. I think this might actually be Daniel Smith's Cerulean, but it feels a little too creamy and dingy to be cerulean, and I just don't feel like yanking it out and getting my fingers all covered in paint to look. And I don't think I have I have these swatched, but I just don't care enough right now. I like the color. Look at the granulating there. Isn't that interesting? Look at that happening. That's fun. And just continuing on. I don't know. I might go all floral for mine. I might. And do I want a theme besides floral? I don't know. Is anybody else doing World Watercolor Month? Let me know. Are you tweaking the prompts in any way? Do you have a theme going on? If you're watching this and it's no longer World Watercolor Month, let me know in the comments if you've ever done one of these challenges. Be curious to hear your experience. Show a little bit. Not a lot of water on my brush. I got to be honest. The negative space on this one, the areas were pretty small. So I didn't feel like I had to work super quickly to keep things, from getting weird watermarks and whatnot. Ooh, I picked up some of that red. Okay. I'm gonna push some of this back. I'm getting a weird bleed that I don't like. Just a little bit of clean-ish water on the brush. Rinsing now and blending that back out. It'll probably continue to bleed, but we'll deal with it as it comes. I got this cute little Pentel sign pen, brush sign pen, artist, but I'm pretty sure this is Pentel. Pink? I don't know. I thought it was Pentel. I'm just going to go around the middles of these and do little squiggly boops. Squiggly boops. Just like a bouncy circle, kind of, I guess is the best way. I love these sign pens. I got them in Europe. I don't think they're exclusive to over there. Just so happens that's where I first encountered them. I think Jet Pens has them. They just have the most glorious fine point. Can you see that? Can you see how fine that is? So fine. Love it. I grabbed this because it was the first thing that popped into my field of vision when I started looking around my painting table. No other reason than that. Same kind of lower grip on this. That is just a grip that I tend to gravitate towards because it gives me, in the way that my hands kind of work, a sense of more control. So I definitely gravitate towards that kind of grip. I like the feel of this pen, so I'm going all in with it. I'm definitely capitalizing on various pressures. You can see when I press harder, it gives gorgeous, gorgeous line quality. Get into that. I think we might need some really intense centers here. That might feel really nice. I am not shying around kind of escaping the petal that I initially painted and getting into the background a bit. I mean, why not? It creates a loose, airy, not so buttoned up feel to it, which is, I have to, you know, to get this many done in, say, 2 to 3 hours, I've got to be serious about, you know, the efficiency of the technique that I'm choosing today. So it's not a day for glazing and Christie realism, right? It's just not. It's a day for immediacy and instinct and, you know, sitting in the weirdness of things that happen when you work quickly and dare I say sloppily, which is not a bad thing. This is great. I mean, we're loosening up our hands. We are creating a whole mess of experiences for our muscle memory by sketching like this. It's like, I call it kind of like pen sketching, or if you were using a brush with paint, like marker sketching with abandon or brush sketching with abandon. We're going to turn this one into a bud. Could dance around the edge. All right, I want to get a little darkness in here, but I'm not going to go black. I have this gorgeous, what is this, a Tom, I think Tom Studio, this cool pen. I have a blue, like an indigo in here, and this has interchangeable tips. And I really enjoyed this. I used this while in Europe earlier this year. I have a couple lives where I just went all in on some of the supplies I bought, used them, talked about them. I'll try to remember to link that below if you're curious. All right, this doesn't quite feel patterny enough for me yet. So I have the same Pentel sign pen in black. Now, I know we didn't use black in the center, but I don't think it's going to matter because these lines are going to be so thin. Let's just do some loose sketching and have fun with the thinness of this pen. Just some super basic leafy moments, maybe some curly cues because we can. That looked more like a, I don't know, a target. I don't like target practice, but what else? The techniques that I'm using today, could you, you know, build them into a quote unquote finished piece? Absolutely, right? But the techniques I'm using today also are just fantastic warm-ups. If you're watching this and you're just like, okay, that's not really my style, but use it as a warm-up. Give it a go to loosen up and get your hand flowing, right? Why not? My friend and I were chatting. She was in over the holiday weekend, 4th of July here for those of us in the US recently. And she's a teacher. She's going for her doctorate. She is like one of the smartest people I know. And she works in a school district in Maryland. And she has a job because she works in curriculum, and so she works year round in her new job. And so her and some of her colleagues are doing kind of a book club type thing, but it's of a professional reading type of nature. And they're reading a book right now that is kind of showing evidence against the idea of learning styles. And this is so interesting as I finish up this first prompt. Hear me out. I don't know the author of the book. I'll try to get my hands on it, and get you a link if you're interested. But the idea that, auditory learners or, all the different learning styles, visual, and so on and so forth, right? That it's more about the human brain learns the most when it's challenged. Forget about visual, forget about auditory. Now, I'm not saying that, I'm not sitting here refuting the traditional idea of learning styles. I'm just saying this is something I teach and I find it to be true. That really what some of the studies are showing is that the deep learning happens when we commit to sitting in an uncomfortable space, uncomfortable learning space. The more that we have the ability to get uncomfortable, stay uncomfortable, be on task in an uncomfortable environment, the more we are going to learn. And I found that to be so interesting. And I said to Amy, I'm like, Amy, that's kind of what I teach in a very like haphazard, sloppy way. And it was just, so I really wanted to share that with you all today. And I'm super glad that my brain remembered to share it with you. So I'm wrapping this up. If you're just joining, we are, y'all are painting with me. I'm getting caught up with World Watercolor Month. I'm on prompt number 1, pattern. And yeah, I think I'm going with a floral theme because I feel like it. And yeah, that's where we're at, y'all. That's where we're at. Let me see if I feel like this needs a little white back into it. Yeah, I'm not wrong. Let me put a little white into all these, but especially this one. All right. Even if you're not into flowers, these could be great warm-up exercises, whatever medium you typically work in. So yeah, let's get on to prompt number 2. I have Rush. Oh, Rush. What do I want to do for Rush? Thanks. I do adore this color combo. I use the palette. It's Stone Ground Paint Co. And it was a collaboration between them and Sarah Simon of Mint Gardener. She sent me her book yesterday. Well, I've actually had it came in before the holiday. And I just unboxed it on Instagram yesterday. She sent me her new Cafe in Bloom book. She sent me the most exquisite kind of like press box. And she said, she only sent like 11 of them, and I got one of them. I'm so grateful. Oh, gosh. So, a little bit of Daniel Smith, a little bit of Stone Ground. All right. Rush. All I can think is living on the lighted stage, approaching the young. Yeah. Anybody know Rush, the band? I love Rush. I sang a little bit of Rush at our July 4th party. You thought wind. Oh yeah, I like that. Like, what does Rush even mean? So this is, okay, so when initially I felt the very same. I was like, these prompts are too hard and this is stressful. But here's what I want you to remember. These prompts are designed, I think. Now, I don't know the gal who did the prompts. There is a gal who did them. What is her name here? Prompts by artist ambassador Angela Fair. So Angela, my guess, is wanting us to interpret these the way we want to interpret them, right? So it gives us, actually, if we kind of just chill, I'm talking to myself here, it gives us a lot of freedom, okay? So Rush. Let's see, Rush. Why is it not letting me do that? Sorry, I'm trying to do something here. Oh, Randy, that is a very literal interpretation. See, you have so much freedom here. Someone thought of wind. I love that. Yeah, love that. I want to go with the floral theme. I got to get a groove on here. I got to get a move on here. So I'm going to go big brush. That I know right now. And I think I'm going to stay in the same palette, and then I'm going to go a little literal. I'm going to just rush through it with a bigger brush, but a similar approach. I have got a much higher grip, much higher, and I'm not doing perpendicular as much as I'm doing like a 30-degree angle. That's some serious Christie science there. I'm probably dead nuts wrong on the degree there. And I'm rushing. I'm rushing through this. I'm going to see where it lands me, and I'm going to be okay with wherever that may be. I'm getting the same Tom Studio baddie out. I'm going to rush through that. I'm going to get this. I want to get right into this and see if you can. Oh yeah, I'm getting her onto the wet paper, but also escaping into the dry. And look, she's bleeding out into the wet really nicely. Beautiful. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and I want some more yellow. Still in the stone ground here, but I don't want to lose some of these really beautiful white areas. And then let's get back out, get into the Daniel Smith, and rush our way through that. Oh wow, that is actually not. Look at that weird sizing going on with this paper. I think it's actually going to work, but we are rushing through this background. Get some really pretty color going on there by just scrubbing up those first few strokes. Still doing that. Again, it's kind of the same approach as prompt number 1, but I'm rushing through. So I'm going literal. Come on, caffeine, kick in. All right. And I'm going to get my black out and get a little sketch-a-doodles in. But I'm going into damp paper where I really wasn't before. So it's going to have a different vibe, a different feel. It's going to hopefully epitomize the spirit of rushing. Right? Perpendicular hold again. So I am just loose. I actually adore this one. Pressing really hard here. And that's it. I'm done. Rush. I like her. And I like her, really like her in context of prompt number 1. See? We all are going to interpret this differently. You guys want to see something funny? Have you been following along with my lives about the Create This Book 3? I'm going to give you a little update. Last week, y'all helped me a ton. We were working through that. If you're not sure what I'm talking about, I'm part of YouTube's biggest art collab, started by Aussie Crafter, and now I'm working on the prompt that was assigned to me by Scott of Savart, and he wanted me to make a menu. So I'm making a menu with dishes inspired by all the artists so far, 10 other artists, and so I've got Lovey Dovey's dim sum. I've got a tiger shrimp. Isn't that hysterical? I've got a tiger shrimp. So I was either inspired by the artists, like the prompt that the other artists did, or their style or their typical character. Who is it? So Craftastic. One of her characters is Lovey Dovey. Am I getting that right? So Lovey Dovey is a pair of hedgehogs. So we did Lovey Dovey Dim Sum. And Lovey, I don't know which one's the girl, Lovey or Dovey, wears the blue bow. So all the dishes are inspired by the artists in the the, the collaboration. This is a Dracaterus dolma. So if you want to know more about what I mean, you're gonna have to just go watch the playlist so you can be in the know. I started working on the logo for the dining shroom instead of the dining room. Die is the name of the challenge's creator, but I'm pretty sure the tiger shrimp is like my favorite. I can't believe I did this. Like it almost like a Falcor tiger. Okay, the never-ending story. Come on. Right? It's a little Falcor-ish. It's like if a shrimp and Falcor and a tiger kind of, let's get it on. Yeah, right? Right? The caffeine is kicked in officially. Yeah. Uh-huh. I do like her. Yeah, the caffeine's here. The caffeine's here. I've come a long way super fast. Yes, I worked really hard this week. And I'm hoping to actually finish at least the artwork for this tomorrow. And then it goes up to the big studio to get scanned. And then I can get into Photoshop with it all and create the menu layout and finally do the final filming next week. But crazy, y'all, next week is nuts. And hold on, you gotta see my face for this. My next week is insanity. All right. I just need you to be here with me for moral support while I tell you about it. I just dropped something. I am teaching at our church all week long from like 9 to 2. I am doing, it's called Divine Design, and I am teaching morning and afternoon classes, little kids, how to do art and stuff. And then my son has football practice 3 days a week for 2 hours each day. And I've got to finish this because this is going live on Sunday the 21st. And I have to finish it in enough time for my editor to edit it. So I've got to get all the footage done, I'm going to say by like Tuesday. So pray for me. Oh, and my husband is traveling next week. Prompt number 3 is turn. All right. Going back into the stone ground. I think what I'm envisioning is a flower from kind of the back. And I'm going to, I like this like color palette it's like a thread so far. And now I'm going to evolve it because I just can't do 31 paintings with all the same color palette for the love. So I'm going to slowly evolve. Like I introduced this new green. But like the beautiful, like sometimes you see a flower and it's just like the most gorgeous, like the back view of the flower, like, maybe it's not fully open yet. And the back view is just redonk. That's what I'm trying to create here. I don't know if I'm getting that vibe. Am I getting that vibe? I don't know if I am, but it's okay. If I'm not, best of intentions, best laid plans. Best laid plans. I need to watch that movie again. Is Thrifty here? Because Thrifty confirmed in one of last week's lives that the reboot of the Neverending Story is actually happening. I'm going orange here because I'm gonna start to evolve that color palette like I said. Oh, that's a nice orange. A little yellow, dirty brush. Yes, I'm mixing brands. No, I don't care. Paints like people were made to mingle. That almost rhymes. My husband, who is like a rhyming guru, would be like, actually, honey, that doesn't rhyme at all. But in my crazy brain, I'm like, oh, that kind of rhymes. My husband, for whatever, I think he thinks he's a poet. He's always prided himself on his ability to rhyme. He loves making up like scavenger hunts and little riddles and little ditties like for Christmas presents. He loves to like come up with like, you know, the things that rhyme, like scavenger hunts with the clues that rhyme that are super clever that nobody can solve. Oh my gosh. I promise this is going to look less smudgy after I do some things once this background is in. Look at that. Am I using the back side or something? I don't recall this Fyess paper being so weird with sizing. But I also don't know how many big washes I've done on this paper. I really don't. I've been doing more fine work with the watercolor markers and whatnot. So, yeah. I'm gonna make this look more like a stem and less like a leaf. So I'm just gonna cut in with a little more paint on my brush. All right, so I'm gonna try to push the turning around of the flower here. And I don't think it's working, but it's still a cute little something here. And this is my Tom's Studio. Tom's Studio. And let's give it a little more structure here where the stem meets the base of the bloom. She's a weird looking little thing and I like it. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. So here we go. We're evolving that color palette. I think it's evolving a little too quickly, so I'm going to bring some of this in, but over the green. I'm going to like glaze it over the green, I think. And tuck it into some of these white areas. Okay, so here's a look. We're on 3, 8 more to go. All right. Oh, new paper. And let's take a look at, yeah, my mouse doesn't want to work. So signal. Oh, for the love. Ugh. All right, we're going to get weird on this one. We're going to get weird. We're going to get weird. I don't really know what a stoplight looks like. So I'm going to make it up as I go. This is concerning. I may be doing this over. Is that stoplight-ish? Is that stoplight-ish? Tell me, is that ish enough? Is that ish enough? That is crooked as all heck. Okay. Quirky. We want quirky. And then what color's on top? Is it red? Help. Help. stoplight, a stoplight. A bright yellow center in a, So red, yellow, green. Oh my gosh. I don't drive enough. Yeah, okay. I mean, it can't just be one color, for goodness sake. We are watercolor artists here. So we're gonna go red, and then we're gonna go yeller. And this Tom Studio pen does do its thing in water. So I'm gonna be careful. And then green. All right, a little bit of that teal. You know, I don't think that is cobalt turquoise the more I think about it. It just has a weird vibe for cobalt turquoise. There's my pen. All right, let's just put some detail in here just to give it a little more depth. My super duper sketchy stoplight. And the whole thing is yellow, right? Like a stoplight is yellow, right? Good heavens. I've got the vibe. Don't drive in Christie's town. I'm so bad. I'm just adding some interest. And you know what I'm going to do here. You know what I'm going to do. Now, I am going to use a watercolor marker so I have a little more control. Up in here. Often black outside. Some places have other colors. Whatever. We're going yeller. We're going yeller. But we're not done yet. It's not just what you think it is. It's not. See, this is good fun. I didn't look up an inspiration image. I didn't care about the fact that it's going to be wonky and weird in front of like 100 people. I don't care. I'm just doing my thing, and we're going to see where it lands, right? So I need that to dry. I kind of feel like I want, what do I want to do? Hold on. My brain is going like a mile a minute right now. Oh my gosh, my dogs today. You hear them, little buggers? A little sign over here. What should the sign say? I think we're gonna do color first. This is so good for you to do something like this and just let it go weird and be okay with the weird. It's good for you. Do the weird stuff. Don't do the unplanned stuff. Promise me? Promise me you'll do some of that? Please. It's good for your brain. It's good for your hand. It's good for your, yeah, it's good for all the things. Do the weird stuff. Do the stuff that's, like, I'm going to be honest, like, do the stuff that's, like, pretty guaranteed to fail in one or more ways. But you do it anyway because of what you might, like, figure out or see or experience along the way. You feel me? You feel me? Huh? Huh? I'm just doing some road signs here, but wait, you know, it's not going to be as literal as you might think. It's just not. The idea for this one came to me quicker than the other ones, for goodness sake. I'm using Winsor and Newton watercolor markers. They are pigment based, which is something I really love, even though I don't love their brush tips. I don't. They're not my favorite, but we deal, we deal, we deal. Okay, that's still really wet. I can't do what I want to do there. So we're going to put a background in. Just putting my finger there to kind of hold things down. And I'm using my 3/4 inch dagger in hopes of covering loosely yet quickly. So I'm like being very intentional about how I'm holding my brush and which part of the brush where I'm using. So for example, right here, I'm using just the tip. And then here I can go swoop, swoop. I can swoop here, and I'm filling that space rather effortlessly and easily without a lot of like hoopla. Bunch of swoops here, and I'm actually getting like really interesting texture because I'm just kind of stroking down, letting the color run out. I dig that. I dig that. I'm gonna do the same thing here. You ever think of using your brushes this way? Like really like let the bristles lead? And I'm actually purposely bumping into that blue from the Tom Studio pen because a little bit of that bleeding is super nice, visually speaking, especially on a quick piece that needs, you know, it's probably going to need a personality boost because we don't have the time to invest, right? So where we're lacking in time and detail and, you know, super duper uber carefulness, we can make up for in some super personality filled strokes. Okay. Take a quick look, see if there's any places you want to blendy blend, like down here. How are we feeling, friends? Are we feeling good? Are we feeling good about life and all the things? Are we feeling like I'm not absolutely insane? I'm getting my hand in that. That's okay, though. I don't have the strongest, like, hand placement right now because I feel like I'm getting my palm into wet paint. I mean, I am actually getting my palm into wet paint, so now we're not going to be able to see all of this word, but I think we have enough to signal what this word says. My spacing there is trash. That's okay. You hear me talking crap about myself. My spacing there is wonky. We got lots of signals here. Oh my gosh, I'm such a goof. It's more like a red. It feels like it almost feels like, honestly, very alizarin crimson-y, with a like, almost like alizarin crimson mixed with like a quinacridone magenta is kind of where I'm feeling. You know what I mean? Does that, I don't know what the color is, and I'm not going to look right now because I don't want to derail myself. I really need to keep focused, but and again, we're just signals here of what the word is. And then we're going to go and just finish this up right. Maybe some of you could have predicted this, but you know, where I was going to take this. But here we are. I've got a really messy grip on this marker right now. And just adding some floral and leafy moments, a little spiral. because we got to keep that floral theme going, because I want to keep it going. This is insane. I love it so much, though. I love it. I love it. I don't know. Some kind of like reeds or something. I don't know. I'm just literally making this mess up as I go along. And it feels good, even though it's like not the most attractive thing I've ever done, that's for sure. It feels good. It feels good. All right, there's Signal. There she is, friends. There she is. Maybe I need a little signal here, a little something else. Oh yeah, those arrows are fun. If you're having fun, friends, I'd love a boop. If you think I'm funny, I'd love a boop. If my singing doesn't completely want to make you like turn the live off, a boop would be awesome. And if you're watching on replay, please don't forget to ask questions. Get in the comment section. I try to respond to as many comments as I humanly possibly can on the replays. Good times. This marker is not the best choice for what I'm trying, these just very angular things, but it's fun. It's fun to challenge your hand that way. It can be really good for muscle memory to use the non-ideal tool for a job. Yeah, it really can. I have a whole video about it. I think I painted a whole thing, a whole painting with a liner brush just to kind of see how it would feel. Yeah. All right, signals. There we go. Let's take a look. We got 4. We got 4 down. Here we go. World Watercolor Month, baby. I'm getting caught up. All right. How we doing? Let me see if we have any questions. Thanks, Sketches. The watercolor paper is 5x7. You automatically dismiss doing the challenge on seeing the prompts, but you make it seem doable and fun. Yeah, honestly, I felt the same. I was like, these prompts are just a little too whatever. And then I was just like, oh, the heck with it. I'm just going to I'm not going to try to plan it. I think that's the best thing sometimes when you feel like a prompt or a project or an assignment, like you don't know where to go, like stop trying to plan it and just go. Just let your brain go. Patch. Oh yeah. All right, here we go. I'm gonna use a little pencil on this one. Patch. All right, patch. What should be on my patch? I don't know what to do for the imagery yet, so I'm just going to work on the details of making this look kind of patchy. We want it to look patchy, so we're going to get a little border on. I have no inspiration image. I could go Google something, but I ain't got time for that. So I'm just going to go from my memory and hope that I kind of get it right and get it recognizably acceptable. So I'm thinking like the stitches around the edges, just little like grins repeated, like a little smiley over and over. It's the same kind of thing I use, same kind of mark making I use sometimes to Make a branch feel more voluminous, I hate that word. I can't say that word. Voluminous, whatever, you know what I'm saying, with more volume. I am still using this Pentel Sign brush pen. I love it. It's a real brush pen. It actually has bristles that separate when you try to separate them with your fingernail. And that's what I call a true brush marker, brush pen. Yep. If you've been around here for a hot minute, you know I've kind of got a beef with that situation. Don't call it a brush marker if it's not really a brush tip. I don't care that it's soft or flexible or blah, blah, blah. Please stop it. A little bit of an extra line quality situation, trying not to smudge, but if you know, you know. All right, patchy. It feels patchy. Yeah, that's what I'm, oh yeah, botanist badge. Here we go. Love that. So it's going to be the flower art badge for the flower art makers of the world. And I'm doing hand lettering with probably the worst possible marker that I could have chosen. But again, there's something to be said for using the wrong tool in the right hands. Something to be said. Okay, flower art, super duper coolio. And then it would be like kind of some kind of iconic, emblematic type situations. We're going to go back to our just kind of classic flower that we started with on the, what was that first prompt? Pattern? I think that's what the first prompt was. All right, and then I think we need a paintbrush. Where? Here? I don't know. Not ideal, but I guess here we're going to exaggerate it. Oh, I didn't really leave enough room. But again, y'all, you got to be okay with the weird and the ill-placed and the imperfections of it all. There's some writing on that brush. The brush is running into my tea. And then we're going to just do a little out of scale half pan, also out of perspective half pan. Okay, I don't know why I felt the need to put shadow on that, but I did. So I wished I hadn't, but I did. And there's no turning back because I decided to do this in ink, like a ding dong. Anyway, we will know what these are. No one else on the planet will, but we will. I may very well just paint over those with something that's interesting. Yeah, I probably will. Okay, now, can I erase that? Or is it going to be bold? I need to isolate this with some kind of cute something because I really don't want to paint close to that at all because it's going to be so unstable. So I'm going to do a little arc here, cute little arc. And then to fill that weird space that I left, we're going to do 3 hearts because odd numbers are better than even, visually speaking. See how we work this out? Do you see, my friends, how we work this out? Now, let's get in here. We just work out the weird. All right. Now, don't get nervous. It's going to look a little awful for a moment because I'm going to paint over that mess. And then we're going to blot it. Perfect. I want to go yellow. And I may have to bring out some gouache to solve that. But yellow and maybe some blue. Or like a bluish purple. And it's going to get a little muddy because we're going to get the black coming into it. It's okay. It's going to be all right. And see, you have to talk yourself through the crazy. Yeah, I have not looked at comments in a minute for obvious reasons, so I apologize. Let me get this background painted on, and then I will promise to stop ignoring you. I'm gonna add a little orange. I think we're just gonna stay away from that area. Going back into the stone ground. I like this patch. Wouldn't it be fun to make patches? Like, you know how the Gray Muse has her pins that people collect? Wouldn't it be fun to collect art patches? Like patches. Oh my gosh, I just had myself a moment. Like, wouldn't it be so cool? Like, you know those cool, like, canvas banners that she sells that you put your pins on that you're collecting? How cool would it be that, like, you got yourself, like, a wet on wet patch once you kind of felt like you had a moment and you really figured out wet on wet for the first time. You go and get yourself the patch. Is that insane, or is anybody else like vibing with that idea like I am? I'm a themey girl. I love me a theme. I love like metals or anything. Like, anybody else vibing with that situation like I am right now? I got an interesting. I feel you. It's all right. I was like, people collect pins? I have them in my shop now because they're cool, but like that was weird to me. But people collect pins and, you know, stickers and all that. So why not patches? I think there's a reason I vibe with that. Oh my gosh, I love this. I think there's a reason I vibe with that because when we first started traveling to national parks, all the national park shops that are, you know, run by the National Park Service have patches. If it's a smaller park, they probably have like one official patch, and larger parks have multiple patches. So I have patches from every single national park we've been to, and I have them up on banners, and I have them hanging upstairs where we have our little, like we have like a sitting room upstairs where we keep all our books. I sometimes I call it a library, but then I'm like, oh, that's just too bougie sounding. So it's just a place where we have all our books stacked. It's not fancy. So anywho, I think that's why like I have a thing for patches. I do. And I was a Girl Scout. All the way up through, what was the top? Was it cadets? Yeah, a travel charm. Right, exactly. Oh, I have a Yellowstone patch, but thank you, Patience to Paint Water. Yeah, friends, any questions? I feel like a lot of folks are painting along with me, which I love. Going back to that stone ground, rusty, reddish, magenta-ish situation. Now it's going to be interesting because I chose to sketch this with a super water-soluble marker, but you just a light hand and not too much water on the brush. You get a little bit of bleeding, but not a ton, and it'll be a-okay. I went fluorescent for the heart, the pinky heart. I actually used that sign brush pen. So I'm staying, again, these all flow in terms of color, which I really like. They flow. All right, we're going to be inspired by the It's Just Paper brush for the coloring of our brush here. So we need like a blue and an aqua-ishy color. I'm going really dry here, friends, because I have to go around these darker marks. Now I want to water this out a little. So I'm going to pick up some over here and then pull it down over here. Still got a little muddy, but it's okay. It's not horrible. And then a little rosy gold. Rosy gold for the ferrule. It's more orange, but that's okay. It's a small area. I'm going to just lift a little of that because I'm being extra. And then let's get into a nice brown for our bristles. It's black because I put too much water on the brush, but it's okay. I love this. I love it. I do. I do. She's so cute. I think we need a background because everything else has had a background. I'm feeling like blue. I'm feeling this intense pull to blue. Not that blue. Here, we're going to use the stone ground blue. We haven't used it yet. Pretty. This brush wasn't clean, but that's okay. Same kind of idea, just kind of get it on there and stroke it outwards. Like just use the width of your brush. Let it do the heavy lifting. I feel like I want a more intense blue, so I'm heading over to Daniel Smith here. Y'all, I may have to pull out my blue. I don't know here. I mean, blue is definitely the right choice. For me. For me. What's here? What are you? French ultramarine? There we go. A little bit of bleeding is totally cool. Looks cool. Let's make sure we don't get a wet or a dry edge there. Pull it down. And I got to get back up here. I'm leaving that white margin where I can. Literally, as I say that, I do not leave a single white margin. It's too funny. And I'm going to go pretty light here because it just keeps the background interesting. We need a little something, something here. Okay, just using the watercolor powder, olive green from Color Sparks. A little too much on there. And we're done. Patch. I really like that. I think that might be my favorite one. What's your favorite one so far? We got patch. We got signal. We got, what is this, turn? We got what was this, fast? And then pattern? Rapid? I forget what this one, but anyway, we're up to 5. We got 6 left to go. I do like that there's a color story here, and I'm going to keep that going. I love turn. Okay. All right, we like turn. I like that. Okay, okay, cool. All right, this is so fun. Let's go see what the next one is. I just don't even understand why I like this one so much. All right. Oh, smudge. We're starting with the smudge. It's all right. It's all right. Rusty. 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 Okay, I got it. I got it. I'm going to go a little traditional here. The first thing I thought of was like a rusty watering can. Okay, it's the first thing. First thing. What would this shape be like here? I'll work that out later. And then a big swoopy handle. I always get the first swoop. You see that bug crawling on the paper? I always get the first swoop really good, and then I get really like weird and tentative and can't match the second swoop. So we're not gonna worry about the second swoop. We're gonna paint that later. So we're gonna have a rusty can. Okay. When that meets that, it probably needs to be. Remember what Sarah Simon said about one true line and like figuring out how to find that one true line, and it basically is a conglomeration of a bunch of untrue lines, and that could not be more appropriate for right now, kind of what I'm doing. And again, going from memory, finding that one true line, trying not to get into an eraser loop, and also being okay with a little quirkiness. All right, so rust. I'm channeling some rustiness. This is gonna be fun. We're definitely gonna need pigment salts. Ooh, that came out quick. Now to control this, I don't know where that went, but it went somewhere. I think I just blew it right off the page somehow. Getting some of that on the brush. Deciding what brush I want to use to put in the swoop. Yeah, so this whole watering can is rusty. Like that's my dream. That's my dream. You know what I mean. There wouldn't be white. There would be just lots of texture. I don't think I've ever painted something rusty before. You know, I gotta say, the more I get into this, the more I actually dig these prompts. I'm like trying to control. Okay, definitely gonna need a background after that situation. Pick up some of that, drop it down here. All right, it's time for the swoop. We're just gonna loose. Pick up some more of that. Keep it loose, keep it loose, keep it loose. Keep it loose, talk yourself through it. Yeah. She crooked, she weird. Who cares? Definitely don't want that. Now I'm gonna try and put some here. And then I like the idea of picking it up and painting with it maybe. I mean, it's certainly not as exciting as just kind of squishing it onto the page, but I'm able to carry some of that. This is just a really nice rust. Now, when you get beautiful, like unexpected, perfect little brush strokes like that, don't go in there and fuss and discuss. Like down here, I'm not going to touch that. I'm getting out. I'm getting out. Okay. Dry brush, dry brush, dry brush. All right, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. Same as brush show, basically, yep. Yeah, the curly on the handle, so cute, right? Okay, oh, I have to paint. I guess this would be kind of the same color, just maybe lighter. I don't know, whatever. All right, no, we want to do cat's tongue, and we're just gonna get into it with some super cascadey, cool arrangement of the flora. Go wild, go crazy. Oh, I missed a color that belongs in this palette. Changing the angle of my brush as I go. That's weird up there. Let's calm that down a little. I'm thinking very wild, sprawling arrangement. Have it a center, a place of emanation. And I realize that this thing is like tipped, right? But it's okay. We'll get that. I think we'll be able to get that sorted pretty effortlessly. Kind of keeping this earthy, again, to maintain this kind of color vibe. I'm going very like dry brush here because I want to cross that, the arm of that can. Still very dry brush here. I like that. I posted something on Instagram stories today at the time of recording, or just before the time of recording. And it was this cool like oil painting of a rose. And I love the technique because it was all about like mark making. And they were using like, it almost looked like little rollers or something. And I put a comment on it saying like, try this, but with watercolor. If you're ever using a marker and you're getting too much like of a textural line, just slow your stroke down. Just slow your stroke down, especially on watercolor paper. Get some perspective going here. There we go. Almost like a fun tablecloth. I'm gonna fix this a little and just scrub that out because the perspective got weird. Use your finger, get in there. Okay. This is so not my typical style, but we're gonna deal. And let's get some pink going to continue our color story. I'm going to turn these little splotches. So my point in bringing up that story I shared is that some of the marks that I just made up in here felt very much like that because they're very dry and very much just about laying down this kind of instinctual texture and not actually trying to, you know, make a petal like one stroke equals one petal. It was more like one stroke creates the impression of a base of a flower full of petals, kind of a thing, if that makes sense. You have to go see it. It's really cool. That's a lot of pink flowers. Let's put some down here, kind of cascading down. Where is my flat wash brush? Here we go. This brush is definitely too big for what I'm trying to do here, but it's okay. Get some of that marker sludge off of there. Come back in. Light touch, get in, get out, get it done, and you won't get as much of the marker smudge if you happen to be using something like that. And this looks really weird because the can should be coming down more on the table. So let me see how I can fix this. And the perspective got super dupes weird. Super dupes wrong. Wrong. Okay, not wrong, but just a little bit tortured. Because here's the thing, you know, I would rather be doing this challenge, like accomplishing this challenge, you know, saying I did this, I stuck to it, whatever. I'd rather be doing it poorly, sloppily, quickly, unintentionally, than not do it at all. Does that make sense? I mean, you might disagree. Maybe like, no, for me, it only feels valuable if I can put my all in. And like, I mean, but we have to shift that idea of what is our all. What does it mean? Because right now I am putting my all in with the time that I have, with the constraints of the time that I've given myself, right? I am definitely putting my all in. So I might encourage you to kind of shift that perspective of what that means, what that time, what your all means in context of the time that you've given yourself to do something. Yeah. I'm just going to add some textural stuff. Just create a general darkness emanating from the can's opening, quote unquote, opening. And then we're going to get in here, add a little bit of detail. With my handy dandy trusty sign marker. I don't know why they call it a sign marker. Maybe it's for like lettering. I don't know. It kind of has that feel because it's so soft and flexible. I'm not really sure what the idea is behind the naming of this one. Get a big old flower in here. Isn't it fun when you can just take like a splotchy weird moment and actually turn it into something a little bit more structured and have it kind of work? I find that invigorating, especially when I'm painting like quickly like this, that I could use my memories and my past painting experience and my past failures to make something like that kind of work. Now I'm going to go into some more of these nondescript abstract areas and add a little bit more structure. I mean, let's just face it, it's all abstract. It's all interpretive, but just a little bit more structure, a bit more of a true leaf here, a petal there. I know I haven't spent much time on the actual rusty part, but that was just an excuse to do a watering can full of whatever. Why does it look weird? Why does it look weird? Will I ever be able to knock out 6 finished beautiful paintings in 117 minutes? Oh gosh, is that how long it's been? 117. Yes, you will. You have to let yourself do it though. You could do it right now. But we fight speed. We fight imperfection because there's so much imperfection at play in this situation right now. And you have to be okay with it. You have to, or you won't even attempt this kind of stuff if you're not okay with some of it being ugly, some of it being like, I keep saying, why is this can weird? I don't know if I'm going to figure it out, at least not in this session. You have to be okay with it, or you just won't get there. This to kind of just look like a cool spray of a vine of something. I sometimes love me a good outline. need something over there. I don't know what it is. It's okay. All right, I need to get out of this one. I need to, like, seriously get out of this one. But I do want to put a little band or something on it. I have a feeling that maybe that will help this weird factor that I'm feeling. It's probably going to make it worse, though. I don't know. Something with the shape is off. There's, I mean, again, you get it, but I don't know. It's been a holy hot minute since I've painted a watering can. So we're just gonna be okay with where it's at, and we're gonna call her done. Done, done, done-ski. And there we have rust. Maybe put a little, get out, Christy. Get out while the getting's good. Just want to put the little holes, or a little suggestion of them up here. Actually, that actually helped a little bit. So there she is. There's rust. Definitely my least favorite. Okay, here we're at 6. I like her definitely in the context of everything else more than by herself, which is fun. Oh, thanks. This is a goofy painting. It's okay. It's okay. What is next? I'm committed. Okay. Study. Oh, heck. Ugh. Sorry, I'm being complainery. I don't mean to be. Holla out what you would do for study. I've already decided what I'm doing for study, I think. So, but my gosh, y'all, I am giving myself an education, a re-education here in perspective. It's a weird little area going on there. Not really sure what to do with it, but maybe this one actually needs to come. There we go. All right, I unweirded it. And then anybody else laughing right along with me as I try to figure out perspective for a stack of books? Holy moly, guacamole. Like back in art school here, y'all. Have you ever thought, pass and come back to it, let your subconscious work on it, work it out in the back? Oh yeah, definitely. I am for your style, magnifying. Oh, that's a good idea. I like that, magnifying glass. Yeah, I like that a lot. I am working on World Watercolor Month. I'm getting caught up with the 11 prompts that have passed thus far. That's weird. I'm trying to figure out what I want this to be, this little box on top. I don't know. So we're gonna do, I know I've got a little stacky stack of books going here. Ooh, forgot how bright that orange was. I forgot. All right, and then I'm gonna go and use the yellow. Love that yellow. It's a pretty uncommon kind of yellow. I mean, I guess this could be, this almost like has like a old school, like those cheap photo album books, you know? That's kind of what I'm you know, keying off of as I evolve this wonky sketch here. You know, it had like the cellophane inserts. So maybe it's almost like a little photo book full of my favorite flower. Flower photos. I don't know. And then we'll make this one green. So this prompt, if you're just popping in, is study. And I immediately went to just the idea of I love art books. I have them stacked all over my home. Like if I'm not, if I'm not even reading them, they are in my presence and they feel like friends almost, you know what I mean? Like they're just such a part of my world. Perspective. Hello, perspective. Nope. Maybe. Perspective was never I was never a whiz at it. It was always hard earned for me, but that's okay. I'll keep trying to earn its favor. Take some liberties. All right, so this one, I have a book that I'm thinking of specifically that is right outside my studio, like when you pop out, right outside of this room. So I'm gonna definitely bring that one up. And all right, she's wonky, she's cool, she's weird. Trying to keep with this color story. You're making me want to paint. I was exhausted from work, but this session is getting me really inspired. Oh, good. I'm so glad. A book of flowers. Go, go, go. You've got this. All right. So I'm just going to do super loosey hint of just something there, table-esque. And then I think I'm going to do I'm going to go back to that original background color while everything's drying and just get in a rough little background. For whatever reason, I'm gravitating to some type of background with this. I'm not sure why. I got a little yellow on that brush. Oop, lost my margin. I am bracing my hand here with my right pinky. And scrub it up out. Get some interesting texture up here. Scrub, scrub, scrub. Oh, scrub, scrub, scrub. Okay, now. do we spell Arshile Gorky? Is it Key? Somebody look that up for me. Arshile Gorky, the artist. He was Armenian. How do we spell that? Where are the prompts listed? So I have them here. I can flash them up on the screen, but you can also just go to go to doodlewash.com. Just Google World Watercolor Month. You're going to find them there. Go onto Instagram and search World Watercolor Month, and you'll find the prompt pages all over the place. Yeah. Thank you. Just KY. Okay. And what should the last artist be? Away, away. What should the last artist be down here? What should that book be about? Oh, jeez. Aw, you guys are sweet to me. Seriously, I was not fishing. Oh my gosh. We can't all be wrong. What did you think we were going to say? Oh my gosh, I don't feel right. And especially, no, it's the biggest book. I can't do it. I can't do it. It needs to be a master. Let's do Impressionists. Whoop, we need an I in there. Okay, now you got to make these more intense. But super loosey-goosey. It's just going to have to be enough that my handwriting is adorning these books. Impression. I'm just going to make sure I spelled this right. This paper is so damp. It's not taking this very well. Okay. And then this one is just inspiration photos. Okay. Oh my gosh, I'm so focused I can barely talk. Is it bad. Can't talk. This is not the right pen for this. Faux show. And I'm actually really exaggerating some of these perspectives. Which is kind of fun. Frida. I almost feel like her little icon should be like flames. Photos, we'll do little leaves. Every book has a little icon. And the Impressionists should be like a little cloud with a sun. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. Ah, there we go. I'm like fearless. Wait. I feel like I want to put gold on here. Like I have time for it, especially on Frida. Frida needs gold. Can't believe I'm putting gold. I never put gold on anything. I'm just using Holbein gouache straight out of the tube with my 000. Yeah, I'm gonna put some on the paper towel and just get into it. This is good. This is good fun to force yourself to have. And let's face it, I mean, I think, you know, when you commit to these challenges, it's hard because maybe you'll like a couple of the prompts, but ooh, the paint is clumpy. But you know, some of the prompts you're going to dread. You know what I mean? But it's fun once you just get into the groove of kind of forcing the issue, so to speak. Yeah. All right. Frida's gold. What else? All right. And we're still on color story on point here. We're still on point, I think. All right. Next up, we have feather. Y'all, I might have to go literal on this. I'm trying my hand at a feather. My brain is hurting. I'm not going to lie. My brain is on fire. My brain is on fire. Oh. I know, Sam. This is a long one. This is a long one. I'm going to make this feather a quick one. All right. Gosh, it's been ages since I did a feather. We're going to go wet on wet. I'm painting with the water. Kind of looks leafy at the moment. And then I'm going to use my Windsors. We're going to just have a blast. I'm trying to stay on color story. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing because I got the stupid screen up. Sorry, y'all. I just put my hand in that gold. So much for my not completely messy new background paper. What else? All right. Liner brush, liner brush, liner brush. Oh yeah. Drag it through that magenta. Drag it. Drag it. I've been doing so many illustrative things lately. I think that's why, like, why my brain is hurting. Like all the stuff for the YouTube art collab, like super illustrative. Like, I mean, come on, tiger shrimp for the love. Yeah. Y'all know me. I'm not out here always drawing characters. Oh, that's right. I did my like little cartoony self-portrait the other day. Oh, my brain. Let's get another one in here. Let's use this. I'm going to blot this a little. Going back to this sign pen. Definitely a more abstract-y interpretation of feather. Well, at this point at least. And liner brush, making some orange feather magic. Oh yeah. That's got some feather. Ferris Bueller, baby. Dankeschön. Darling, Dankeschön. Mm-hmm. 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 I always felt like the feather, I needed this, my brain needed this. The thing that made feathers look most feathery is the thing that most feathers don't have. Like when I'm like out on my walks in the wild of, you know, my backyard, the forest, like these long feathery bits, like you don't, come on, we don't actually see those in like on real feathers out in the wild, but then when I add them to my paintings, they make my feathers look more feathery. Like what is up with that? Like these little, oh, it's off the screen. Hi. Those little doodads. You know what I'm talking about. Those like super feathery parts, like little tendrily parts. That's what makes the feather look feathery. So like how? Why? But it does. So I do it. I don't care. Fungus gnats. Everywhere. Okay, what color? Black. Glasses off. If you're just hopping on, I am getting caught up with 11 days of World Watercolor Month prompts. I did not do the challenge last year. If you're not familiar with the challenge, I will have, once this live is no longer live and it's on replay, I will have all that information in the description section. I'm in love with this baddie, Boombalatti down here. Okay, I'm getting out because I love this. Super fun. I'm going to give you a close look. I also love the fact that it's helping me along and get this thing done. There she is. There's Feather. I like Feather. Very different style. However, all right, we're going to get a little yellow in there. A little yellow, I think, to stay on color story here. There we go. Thank you, Betty. Let's get these in order. Okay, so we did pattern. Then we did what? This one, right? Turn. No. We did the quick one. Rush. Then we did the turn or whatever. And then I think, then was it signal? And then patch. And then rust. And then study. And then feather. I think. All right. What's next? Trunk. Oh, we only got 3 more, right? Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes. All right, just give you a quick look, see where we're at. Okay. Pattern. Rush. Whatever this was, turned, yeah. Signal. Patch. Rusty, rust. Study. I like this one, but I don't like the background. Like, I don't like the background. And feather. Love them all. Thank you, Lean. These paintings really went as all over as the prompts did. Honestly, I feel like these paintings are like just like a tunnel vision into what my art life has been for the last 2 weeks, because I've been doing so much like this kind of stuff, like weird anthropomorphic lettering, food, like illustrative, I mean dim sum inspired by a hedgehog character, a little panda. Like, I've been doing all this crazy stuff, and I've also been doing a ton of, you know, I've been doing my leaf portraits, ton of leaf portraits. So it's like, it's definitely like this strange hybrid of what's going on in my existence over the last like month. Yeah. Super, super fun to see it like come alive before my eyes. Crazy town, crazy town. All right, what was the next one? Trunk? Trunk. Trunk? What? An elephant. Oh, an elephant. All right, I want to do almost like a continuous. I want to see if I can do this. Oh, not really continuous. This may not be happening today, y'all, and I'm just going to have to be okay with it. I'm just going to have to be okay with it if it doesn't. It just may not be in the cards for me today. What did somebody say earlier? Just like let it go, come back and simmer. I may have to simmer. There's parts of it that are working, there's parts that aren't, but I'm actually really enjoying doing it just the same. Gosh, it reminds me of like the gestural work I did in college. It's actually really, really fun. Oh, really fun, actually. Okay, don't get too slap happy there, Christy Rice. You could really take this down a crappy path any moment. Y'all, I'm not looking at questions. I am so focused here. I'm thinking about gesture. And I'm also thinking about staying freaking calm right now. And that is leg. That is leg. That is leg. That is leg. Do whatever. I don't care how crazy you sound. Talk yourself through these scary moments. All right. There's something right here that's just bothering the jeepers creepers out of me. I'm going to shut up. That line shouldn't have been there. It's okay. Actually, maybe it should have. All right, I'm gonna do. Oh, this is. I like you. You're cutie patootie. You're a cutie patootie. I will say this. I'm definitely looking back and forth to my inspiration image. It's the only one I felt really compelled to have an inspiration image. And this part is all wonkadoodle down here, so it may just be that we let it fade into nothing. I'm getting into it all. I just dip my hand in. I'm being so real. Elephant with a flower or three. I like it. I like it just like she is. Isn't that wild that I like this like this? But I do. Let the trunk shine. All right. She's done. I like her. A little finger painting. I know, don't come at me for finger painting with toxic watercolors. There she is. Whew. I really like that. Next prompt. Buried. Buried. Oh, I like that root vegetables. Buried. Buried. Come alive. I almost want to do like imaginary root vegetables. You know, inspired by real ones. Yeah. Okay. Imaginary root vegetable. And let's do a weird carrot-like thing. but we'll do it in a funky color. I have lost all ability to speak. Imaginary root vegetables here. Okay. All right, now for a little more control, we're gonna go watercolor marker. I'm gonna just have the weirdest radish of all time. Or just, no, I can't use fluorescent. Who am I kidding? I have not introduced a single fluorescent into this mix. So we'll just do the yellow from the Stone Ground palette. Get that pink loosened up. And, okay, get the green from the Stone Ground palette. And then we need a blue carrot. I just think that sounds ridiculous and therefore a must. A must, a must, a must. Oh, that created some interesting mud. I dig it. Ow. Double dip, green, blue. I'm sorry, green, yellow. Apparently more green than yellow. Oh, I like the blue carrot. I like the very weird carrot. He's fun. Okay. Now this is like a turnip gone awry. Well, then we just, I mean, a pink turnip. Because you bet your butt. We need dirt. We need some dirt. Okay, fun. And then we need sky, because, you know, going back to that cobalt turquoise, I'm going to just try to do a super easy breezy beautiful sky. In here. Try not to smudgy dudge too much. My style is definitely changing as I go along because I'm being more immediate. I'm loosened up. Yeah, it's funny. It's cool to watch. Using that angle of that brush to my benefit. And I need to carry this up so it doesn't look so out of place. Okay. There we have it. Buried. Buried. All right, what's the last one? It's funny, the first and the second to last still look kind of similar. I take that elephant. What's the last one? Huddle. Oh my gosh. How do you paint those? A group of hippies, hippos. Oh, you want me to draw a flippin' hippo? Oh my gosh. Hold on. Oh my gosh. How am I going to do a hippopotamus? Save the best for last. Look at you. Oh my God, you're cute. Hold on. I bet y'all think I can do this, you know, a la Elephant Town. Oh my heavens. Is there anything a little bit more iconic here? Oh, there's some funny stuff here. Y'all, I'm tired. Oh my gosh. Okay. You're going to get what you get and not be upset. You get me? Right? Oh. Oh. Oh, they got these cute little ears though. Got these cute little ears. Oh, hell's bells. I made that really. They got these cute mouths. Oh, jeepers creepers. Where'd you get those peepers, buddy? You cute. You got rolls. So many rolls. Let me see if I can redeem this with some eyeballs. He looks very angry, and this is not an angry gentleman. So I got to get my stuff together. He looks, I don't know what I did with those eye sockets, but he looked angry. Oh my gosh. Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide, escape reality. That is a very strange beast. Look up to the sky and see. I'm just a poor boy. Y'all, wait, nostrils? Will that help this situation? There's no way I am drawing another one of these. There's no huddle happening. I'm gonna have to like somehow represent huddle in another way. I knew it was too good to be true with what happened with that elephant. That came to too much of a point. Wouldn't you say? I'm not looking at your comments. I'm not trying to ignore you up in here. I'm really not. I'm just trying to like save my self-respect here. Oh, it looks like some weird hybrid of a gremlin and a chipmunk. Something's wrong up in here. I mean, you know, or Jabba the Hutt. Little Job of the Hut situation going on. I'm not afraid to embarrass myself in public. Clearly. You know what it is too? We can't see his little tongue. I completely eliminated his tongue. I did. Why'd I do that? And his nose dips more. He almost looks like he has like, I'm not going to say it. It's highly inappropriate. Oh my gosh, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever made in my life. It's okay. It's okay. Yeesh. Yeesh it is. We're getting a little acrylic, if you're wondering. We're going to go out with a bang. Or maybe more like a fart. Y'all. And this is more like white here. It's like shiny. A little shine on. What is wrong with him? What is wrong with him? I'm afraid to look at comments. Just wait until you see how I'm going to make this look like a huddle. And just wait. There you go. There's your huddle. Angry. Oh. Times 8. I don't know why 8 is the magic number, but it is. It's almost like anyway, he's cute enough. He's not horrible. Looks like he has a butt face. Looks like he has a butt face. Not horrible. Not great. Super amusing. Like I can get down with an amusing illustration. There's my huddle. He looks like a frog. Oh, I know what it is. Look, his eyeballs. Oh, for the love. Look what I did. That is not. Where'd he go? Where'd my hippo go? His eyeballaroo. Let's actually talk about what's wrong with this, because I now know what's wrong with it. And I don't know if I can fix it. But his eyeballaroos are too close together, and they should be more down here. Do you know what I'm saying? So this might completely destroy it, but you know what? Go big or go home, y'all. Go big or go home. Gold gouache. You gotta leave the 8 in there because that's just funny. That's just funny. When in doubt, cover it up. And then you have a little new space to try it again. That kind of rhymed. We'll add the 8 in again because we need a nice little cleanish background here. Okay, so I'm going to put some gold in elsewhere because I kind of like the vibe, but really dry brushy to kind of blend and smooth some of this. Now that I think I kind of know what my problem is. Where there's a will, there's a way, y'all. I definitely have a will. I don't always have a way. But while that's drying, I actually love, look at that granulation. Can we just talk about that granulation right there? Woo! Now, going a little less headstrong. And it's also, his eye placement is a situation, so. Where did my black marker go? So his eyeballs are actually almost up in his ears. Isn't that crazy? But they are. His eyeballs are actually like up in his ears. I mean, that's already light years better. The gold isn't dry, but I'm forcing the issue. And then, it's the beauty of mixed media, y'all. Ugly, messy, weird can get unugly, unugly, unmessy, unweird. Gosh, he literally looks like he has little, you know whaty who's on his nose. And I can't say it because I'll probably get a ding from, and they're kind of like right here. They're like in an angle. It's like dimple with an N, dimple, eyeball, ear. Okay. Now, it's smudgy. I have to wait for this to dry, but this is better. Kind of sorted out some of the goodness gracious, what the heck did I do moments. Worked it out, y'all. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's still only moderately convincing. Only moderately. Gosh, I love this pen though. Only moderately. But that's okay. It's okay. Okay. You made me do it. You made me do it. There's our little weirdo. Hi, dude. Hi, dude. His eyeballs. I have to wait. But anywho, there is my very malformed, I forgot even with the hippopotamus. I actually am going to let this dry. This is going to be fun. I'm going to let this dry. And I'm going to do a short, like a reel. And maybe also a short. And show you how I resolve this. Because it's 100% resolvable. I think it'll be fun. Yeah, times 8. I feel like I'm channeling Basquiat here or something. I do. That's what it feels like to me. I'm actually glad you made me do a hippo. I'm going to work him out. He looks very froggy right now, but he needs to dry. I'm going to do some mixed media stuff up on his forehead, and I think we're going to be back in business. But I think it's cool that, you know, we be open about the craziness of trying to do stuff like this. And so I'm going to make a short and or a reel on this so you can see how I worked it out. Because the same thing I did the other day Did you all see it? My most recent video where I really messed up the mouth on my little cartoon portrait, but I finished it and I posted it in the community section here. All right, so I think it's important for us to be honest about that process. Okay, number 1, pattern. Number 2, brush. 3, what was this? Turn, signal, World Watercolor Month, baby, patch, rusty, study, feather, trunk, I like him, buried, what is it called? Huddle. I actually adore the color palette. I cannot wait to work this out. Love it. Whew. Which is your favorite? Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. They're not all gonna fit it. Hold on. You can just show parts. Let's get it. Let's get it. Bye, hippo. Feather. I like how they coordinate. They coordinate. They do. I dig it. Okay. What's this next? And then this, and then this. All right, what's your favorite? Let me know. You like them all. What do you do with all your paintings? I put them on a little shelf, and then when that gets full, I organize them into little drawers out of the sun. Anywho, friends, definitely keep an eye out for a short or a reel on Instagram or a community post or all of it in the coming days. I'm going to sort this one out, do a nice shot of all of these, and hopefully I keep going with this. Now that I only have one to do a day, it'll feel like, you know, I'll feel like I'm on vacation or something, right? Holy moly guacamole. I mean, dang. Hi. I don't have my face cam got messed up, but it is what it is. Friends, thank you so much for being here. It has been a long one. I gotta go. And I will see you later, alligator.